Yo, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about. The transfer window is well and truly on the horizon. The window has not opened yet, but there's so much Arsenal transfer news already. But one thing we need to discuss today is contract extensions. And these are players that we're going to try to be keeping at Arsenal, giving them longer term contracts to see if we can prize them away from other clubs coming and grabbing them. And certain players we just want to keep hold of. So let me first show you guys the news and what's being reported. So what's being reported is none other than Andre Berta has held and expressed discussions over new contract talks with William Saliba, which we like, Gabriel Magalhaes, which we like, Thomas Partey, which we're going to discuss, Ethan Winery, which we like, and Leandro Trossard, which we're going to discuss. And of course, crucial important negotiations with Bukayo Saka is on the horizon, and reportedly Bukayo Saka's deal has been agreed. Ethan Winery's deal will be hopefully reaching agreement. We shouldn't have a problem with that one. Also, Gabriel also shouldn't have too many problems reaching agreement with him. Thomas Partey wants to stay, so it should be easy to get an agreement with him. Apparently, Leandro Trussard is also willing to stay, so that is going to be another one. The only difficult one right now is William Saliba has not expressed the interest yet to finally sign an extension on his current deal. So out of these players, the only player who has not shown clear intent to sign a new deal is William Saliba, as the move to Real Madrid is still a possibility in the foreseeable future. So Andre Berta has a very, very busy transfer window on his hands. Now, before we go any further, there's a question that we're going to be discussing in today's video. And this is the question. The main discussion for today's video is going to be this. I seen this tweet from Eduardo Hagen, and I thought, you know what, maybe I should do a video on this and we should discuss it. So that's what we're doing right now. Leandro Trossard and Thomas, extending Leandro Trossard and Thomas Partey is a bad decision, says Eduardo Hagen. A bad decision. So let me know. What do you guys think? Do you think extending Leandro Trossard and Thomas Partey, or at least one of them, is a bad decision? And would you do this if you were in charge of Arsenal? As an Arsenal fan, let me know. Do you want to see Thomas Partey extended? Do you want to see Leandro Trossard extended? And which one do you think is a bad move to not extend? And which one do you think is a bad move to extend? Now, Eduardo is saying that it is a bad move to extend both of them. And immediately you get people saying that, you know what, Trossard we should extend, but Thomas Partey we shouldn't. It would be a benefit to replace him. Sufficient enough when we have too many other positions and holes to plug. Then you got people like Eduardo coming back and saying, well, extending Partey is a bad decision. He's 23 years old. He's 32 years old next month, earning 200K, bad injury record. Zubimendi's coming in. He will be a bench player. And obviously you don't want a 200. Zubimendi is one to be on the bench, says this gentleman here. We're going to see. I think it's good squad depth and key battle all fronts next season. I think that's also an important point. You got other people coming in saying, as long as we add players we need, I don't see the issue. Our squad depth will be insane. That is important. A lot of people talking about squad depth. A lot of people talking about next season. A lot of people talking about we don't have the money to replace both of them. Some people saying Trussard is a good player, adds numbers in areas where we all are short. Thomas Partey has been inevitable for us, but we're suffering. However, we've lost him in the midfield. Fair. There's so many different arguments. But before we go any further, let me just talk about Thomas Partey quickly as an individual before we get into Leandro Trossard and before we talk about Trossard any further. Thomas Partey has expressed the interest to signing a new deal. Yes, Thomas Partey has even said that he's willing to turn down a lucrative deal from Saudi Arabia in order to stay at Arsenal on an annual term. So Thomas Partey has already made it clear that he's willing to stay. Thomas Partey has already made it clear that he's willing to stay for short term. Thomas Partey has made it clear that he wants to join Arsenal for the foreseeable future. I mean, he wants to stay at Arsenal for the foreseeable future. So if Arsenal can reach an agreement that is short, that is also a good pay package for him and for the club, I think this could be something we should consider. As for the negatives and the reasons why people do not want Thomas Partey to stay, really and truly, some of it is non-football things, And also some of it has to do with his age and the fact that Zubimendi is going to be coming in. Now, let me just point this out. Just because Zubimendi is through the door, there is arguments on why to keep Thomas Partey. And some of those arguments, of course, is he has leadership, he brings squad depth, and of course, he has been crucial for the team over the last couple of years. He adds short-term stability to the squad and avoids unnecessary turnover, where we can then have somebody else in the building for as Zubimendi gets acclimatized to the Premier League and acclimatized to the Arsenal squad. Other breath, you can make the case that Thomas Partey should be leaving the club due to non-footballing reasons. One, another thing you could say is Thomas Partey at Arsenal has had a poor injury record. Now, I could show you guys his injury record. He's missed about 80 something games, I think, about 15 games absence per year. Thomas Partey has missed a lot of games. He has. And I'm just going to show you guys his injury record. Thomas Partey's injury record has not been great at his time at Arsenal. But let's be honest, this season he's improved that massively. He's only missed one game so far this season. Hopefully it's not just because of the fact that he's playing for a contract, but having him on short terms, constantly playing for that contract, will motivate him to continue to stay fit. As for Leandro Trossard, luckily for us, has never been injured in his time at Arsenal. He's only been injured at Brighton and Genk. His injury record has been immaculate. So this is one reason why Leandro Trossard gets brownie points and why people would want to keep him. They both are going to be 30 plus. Trossard will be around 30, where Thomas Partey will be extending at the age of 31, turning 32. That's a gamble, such a gamble, because of his former fitness issues, because of the fact that he's getting older, because he would also be blocking the path for younger players, and his decline in performances physically is visible. Now, Thomas Partey, I personally think if you can get a good deal, if you can get him short-term reasonable contracts, then I would take it. But if he wants 200K plus and he wants, what do you call it, a 3-year deal, forget about it. Nothing more than a 2-year deal or 1+1 for Thomas Partey. As for Leandro Trossard, I'd be willing to give Leandro Trossard a little bit more. I think Leandro Trossard is a little bit more of a game changer. Sorry, he's not a game changer per se, but he is somebody who can come in and be a steady Eddie. He's somebody who comes in and does not shake it up too much, doesn't mess up things too much, but yet he lacks certain things that we need. He lacks the height, he lacks the pace, he lacks the cutting edge. He does have some goal scoring and creativity, but neither at the level of a marquee player that we could bring in like Nico Williams or a Rodrigo or somebody like that. As for Leandro Trossard, he could slowly decline even further, but as the season goes on, as an older player, he does show stagnation at times where he doesn't evolve, he doesn't continue to show different things. You can kind of figure him out as a player, especially when he's in the team for too long. Teams tend to figure him out. So we do need to find a way to shift away from Leandro Trossard. Now, overall, should Arsenal keep Leandro Trossard and Thomas Partey? I've shown you guys the counter arguments. I've shown you guys the arguments. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Arsenal should move on, or should we keep both Leandro Trossard or Thomas Partey? I think we should give Thomas Partey a short-term extension, and I think we should give Leandro Trossard a short-term extension with the hopes of potentially selling Leandro Trossard to Saudi if the option comes available. And if Thomas Partey is to get a new deal, I would give him a 1+1. And if he does not show the same level of injury capabilities to stay fit, or he does end up having a season where he's on the hospital bed too much, then you have the option to end the contract after 1 year. That would be my ideal situation. But hey, long story short, I think you can't go wrong with having too much squad depth. And as long as it doesn't block the pathway of Arsenal going and signing a quality left winger and Zubimendi, I would keep both Leandro Trossard and Thomas Partey. But hey, let me know what you guys think about this video. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you guys want me to do more of these type of videos going forward. Love for the love, people, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.